And we are back. Thank you for bearing with us for the 30 seconds. My name is Martin. For those of you who haven't been around when I introduced myself, I'm one of the co-founders of Omnim. We are a young pre-seed startup. I actually have my co-founder here as well with me. He got so excited about the meetup that he got a new haircut. That's how excited he got. So if you want to talk about AI or anything else after the meetup, please find us. We'll be around. I am super excited about AI, and when I started, reacting to people on Twitter about AI, I actually got myself into the Cursor community. So this is officially the first Cursor Community Prague event, which we hope we'll do more of in the future. So, thank you for coming. So, it's a great community. Thank you. You can clap if you want. You don't have to. So, since this is a Cursor community meetup, I wanted to ask you, how many of you actually have a real life working experience with Cursor? If you can give me a quick show of hands. Wow, so this is a real Cursor community. That's awesome. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. I guess I will not be showing you anything that's super technical. I'm not super technical myself. We'll see about that. I am actually a product manager turned co-founder who loves tech, loves AI, but I love coding as well. But I do love AI, and computers do the coding for me. So that's what we will be probably going through in the next 30 minutes. I thought that it might be a great idea to show you how Cursor works by live coding something with you today. So this can absolutely backfire on me. So if I'm just struggling debugging something, just bear with me, so it's not like, what's this guy doing up there? So it might be a bit embarrassing. We'll see. If the AI gods are with us, we'll succeed. If not, we won't. That's fine. We're here for the journey and for the networking anyway. Cool. So about us, what we do, we are called Omnim. We are a young startup. We just started, and we have a lofty vision. We want to fix marketing. Who loves marketing? Everybody loves marketing. Yeah, marketing is awesome, but we want to sort of fix it. Why I say fix it? It's a huge market. Everybody does marketing. They usually don't know what they're doing, and you can imagine Omnim as a button that says "Do marketing for me." We internally call it the CMO in a box, Chief Marketing Officer in a box, or you can imagine it as a cursor, but for marketing. And what we're doing probably wouldn't be possible 2, 3, 4 years ago. It really was a sci-fi novel rather than a startup idea or a startup execution plan. But it's become reality, and the train of AI has left the station. It's running super fast, and every week, you see it in the news. What new models are out, new IDEs. There's a lot of stuff happening. So Cursor shipped version 0.5, if you're following the news, with background agents this month. It's super cool. Other providers are doing it as well. I will not be using them today for the demo, so I think they're quite slow still for something. But this is definitely the way where you will sort of offload the work to a background agent, and you will order a latte instead, for example. Anysphere, the mother company of Cursor, they are valued at billions right now, $9 billion valuation. They raised probably like $900 million in funding. It's crazy. And the term vibe coding has really took off. So it really has this weird, strange aftertaste. I think in the engineering crowd, probably like, this is vibe coding. This is not super great. But I would like to make the point that this change in paradigm has been here, or at least it happens every 10 years or every decade. So probably nobody in this room started on punch cards. At least I didn't. If you did, raise your hand. Like I'll clap for you, but probably not. And then we moved, to C, and then we had the garbage collection, and then you suddenly didn't have to write your own web server if you wanted to have a web app. So these abstraction waves have been happening throughout the history of engineering, and with everyone, we sort of moved to a next level of productivity. And I do believe, I really, really do believe that what we call vibe coding today is just the next level of abstraction. That the intent to write in English and computer translating it into structured code and running it is just gonna be in 20 years like obvious. This is always what we wanted to do with COBOL. This is what we wanted to do with Visual Basic, and let's not talk about Visual Basic. So from a Cursor founder perspective, from a founder perspective, I think this is absolutely amazing. Like I wouldn't be able to start a company, to build a product without AI and without Cursor. So I'm immensely grateful for 2025, the wave that we're riding and where we are today. If Agile, probably everybody knows Agile, and there's this little thing called sprints, right? Like when we decided that moving from 2 weeks to 1 week is like this huge revolution that's gonna like speed this up tremendously, and will be super fast. I guarantee you that like 80% of what you're doing in a sprint in 1 week, you can now do in a morning, at least in a prototype. Maybe not. Maybe you can even ship it. It shortened the feedback loops for product managers, for founders, drastically. You can get feedback for literally anything super quick. You can do it in parallel. You can have massive turnaround of ideas. When you want to integrate stuff, super easy. You don't have to worry about some old code base that you don't know anything about. AI will give you the X-ray goggles to see what's happening there really quick. It's amazing. It's like I'm selling it to you, right? I don't have any commission from Cursor, fortunately. Anyway, so I will not bore you with further slides. So this will be, I think, either super exciting or it'll be interesting. But what we'll try to do next, as I said, Omnim is a startup where our vision is to help people with marketing. Productboard. How many of you are familiar with Productboard? There are some Productboard people, so a couple of hands probably. Not everyone. So Productboard is basic, and I'm ex-Productboard, by the way. So hey, Productboard people. I was super funny because I was a product manager who also was responsible for some of the APIs that now I have to use to build this. And there are still bugs from the time I did that. So anyway, so we'll do an integration between Omnim and Productboard. And in Productboard, you're managing your feature lifecycle when I simplify this. So you want to build a feature, you're tracking the lifecycle, and you get to the point where you want to launch it. For the launch, you need a lot of marketing collaterals. So you'll be sending emails to your customers. You might want to write a LinkedIn post. You might want to go to Product Hunt, whatever. And with Omnim, the idea is, at least for this simple service, is they'll understand the context of the feature and your company and your market and whatnot, and will give you, obviously, the marketing collaterals for this feature. So the flow is you will change the status of a feature in Productboard. That will trigger a webhook that will send a request to our service that we'll build. They'll go to our Omnim API, and it will go all the way back to Productboard and update the feature. Sounds good. So I kind of lied when I said that I will do it from scratch. I'll go to Cursor. I didn't lie all the way, though. So this is Cursor, if you have not seen it before. So if you can't see it, I'm afraid that's the best I can do for you. But this is where we'll live. And when I said I lied, is that I actually did one step ahead of the presentation just to speed things up for the sake of time. But if you disregard that step, this is an empty repo that I have for the service. I usually work with Cursor and with AI in I'm not saying that it's the best way, but it's been one that consistently has worked for me. And I'm gonna walk you through what we do here. As a product manager, what you would very often write is a PRD, a product requirement documentation. That's it's fairly non-technical. It's mostly from the business perspective, oriented at the problem, what's the market, who are you building it for, why now, what are the acceptance criteria, what use cases you want from that feature, yada yada yada. So a lot of let's say businessy stuff. This is what you see on the screen before you. I did not write this, obviously. I had AI write this, but I provided inputs. So I told it, this is what it needs to have. These are the acceptance criteria. This is what the service should do, and obviously spit out this product requirement document for me. There are a couple of say implementation details that I know about Productboard and that the AI knows about Productboard. For example, things in documentation that don't work as they are in documentation and stuff like that, which we'll probably have to debug later because that's usually where it fails. So spoiler alert. And other things about, for example, webhook payloads and stuff that I want the agent to know about. I also gave it the open API spec of Productboard. There is a nicer, cleaner way of doing this. Obviously, you can reference it in the agent in a nicer way. I just think that this is a much more reliable way of doing this, at least in my experience, just to dump everything that you can do with Productboard API here. And I also gave it the Omnim API docs. So this is a service that that we opened for the meetup. It's fairly simple. It's a REST API endpoint. You send a request for the marketing copy. It returns the structure in a predefined format. So this is where I usually start when I build a feature. What I asked the AI prior to me actually starting talking here is to create an implementation plan. So in Cursor, I usually do this in Markdown. I have the AI slice it into phases. So the details are not super important. So let's say I'm a product manager, so I don't even know what this is about. Like you probably should, but let's pretend we don't. And I asked the AI to follow it. So set up the repo, the project, set up the webhook handling, and yada yada yada. And in ideal case scenario, I should just give this to the AI, say follow it. When you run out of context, just track the progress here. Say what you did, what are the next steps, where you need to continue, and that's it. So this is exactly what we'll do, and we'll see what happens. All right, I have to put the mic down, and I'll pretend Elton John, and I'll talk to this mic for a bit. Yay! Okay. Candle in the wind. So we have the implementation plan, and I want to follow the implementation plan with the context of this. So I usually also reference back the context just for the agent to know that the context was used for building the implementation. I guess I normally wouldn't have to do it because we already have the implementation plan with all the deets. I just do it because I use Gemini to do 5 Pro. I'm spoiled by the million tokens context window, even though the Claude 4 that just launched is awesome. Like I got super impressive results out of it, but they still have 200K context window, which is a bit restrictive to how we usually work. So I'm just gonna launch it, and yeah, I'm just gonna pray to all the demo gods that I know, so that we have something. If this is the first time that you see this, probably this is already impressive. It would be for me. So if you're already impressed, please clap at the end, even though this won't work. Because we taught Sand to code for us, which is not absolutely nuts. It's crazy how the expectations change. Because if I showed this to a room like this 3-4 years ago, they would go absolutely bonkers, and I would get like VC calls from everyone from the whole planet. And now it's just like, yeah, what's this guy doing there? You know, it's like we've seen it hundreds of times. So yeah, please do not change my environmental variables. Yeah, I also have my environmental variables ready, and I let it read it. So by default, and I usually I had a slide where I said, do not give access to environmental variables to agents, and then I actually did this thing during the demo just to speed it up. So I removed the slide. Um, and yeah, but you should not do that obviously for production. Uh, Sometimes this just hangs, so I ask it to continue. What usually I would do is that I would read the code, I would check it. So for each phase, you should strive for encapsulation so that the phase can be checked and you can create a PR from it. We'll not do it here. The word for this meetup is YOLO, so we'll just go. We'll see what happens. I had a bunch of polling questions for you, so to fill the weight for AI. So you said that like a lot of people here actually use Cursor. How many of you would actually rate yourself as intermediate users of Cursor or advanced? I don't know how to define it, but you can self-define. It's like 1, it's a 2, 3, 4. Cool, nice. It's a humble crowd. So the rest of you are experts then. Wonderful. So you can help me debug this then later on when it won't work. So or how many would you say are beginners or just like using it casually? Cool. Anybody wants to share like the best experience with Cursor so far? On mic. You don't have to. Anyone super excited about like what you can build with Cursor? Or have you built anything with Cursor yet? We're just mesmerized by the code appearing on the screen. Cool. So yeah, we still have 13 minutes, so we have 13 minutes for the machine to work. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit about the final host that we have in 30 minutes. We'll have Nick Miller from Cursor. He's working for the mother company Anysphere. So again, if you want to use the Slido for questions for him, I think he'll be delighted to answer some questions about Cursor, AI, how they work, anything of that sort. He has 25 plus years of experience with engineering, product management. He's been a CTO, he's been a founder, so he's done it all. I'm not entirely sure. I think he's based out of Silicon Valley. I'm not sure. We can ask him. And yeah, I hope that the Zoom will work and everything will be fine for us. So in the meantime, we are in the best phase, phase 5, HTML processing. HTML processing is wonderful in this scenario. So you can imagine that you have content that we generate and that we want to save into Productboard. Productboard is very strict in terms of what HTML they actually accept in the custom fields that you can use there, and it's not documented. So that's the best part. So if it's not gonna work, I can actually blame only myself because I was the PM on the APIs that I'm just trying to use, which is wonderful. Anyone with experience with different types of models in Cursor that would want to share something about, like, you know, Gemini, Claude, GPT, what is working for you, what's not? Kubo. Kubo is my co-founder, so.
Got you. So maybe even to your previous question, first thing that I learned when using Cursor was that it's okay to trash all of your work and just start from the beginning. I was just trying at the beginning as a first project just to build a website in it, and at one point it just went off a cliff, and I obviously didn't version it at all. So, that's a learning for me, but hey, I feel like that's how everybody starts. And as soon as you get into selection of the models, you can really see the difference between how they all interact. And one of our favorite sort of workflows is that you have on half of the screen cursor and on the other half of the screen ChatGPT o3, and you are just sort of like pasting between them, and like one is giving feedback to the other, and they are complimenting each other and saying, hey, wonderful job, you did it great. And that's really nice to see the guys just talking about this. And as Martin said, Gemini is great if you want to do a huge chunk of work or if you want to structure like a detailed plan. However, you can do that outside of Cursor as well. And the latest Claude is really great if you have like really piece by piece feature specs, and it's able to do it almost end to end if it doesn't run out of context window. So I would encourage all of you to give it a try. Like I feel like it's especially cheap right now. It's like half the request because it's new. So mostly between those two, that's the daily driver workflow and ChatGPT o3 on the side. But everybody will have their own preference.
Thank you, random stranger from the crowd. And it compiles. So first hurdle, I think that I'm almost tempted to end it here, like not to try what it actually does, but it compiled and it launched, which is awesome, super exciting. So what it did is that it launched a webhook endpoint that we need to register with Productboard. I'll try this one again. So super quick, not super related to Cursor at the moment, but I'm just gonna open a port or a tunnel with ngrok. And what we need to do here is that we need to tell Productboard, hey, Productboard, please go and send webhook requests to this address. I'm interested in feature changes. By the way, this is developer portal and Productboard that I'm just showing you. I'm interested in feature updated, and I want you to use this address / webhook, and yeah, some random auth, and I should register. And it actually worked. Wow, I'm quite surprised. That's great. So we are registered with Productboard. Webhook registration probe received. Wonderful. And now it needs to just fail. I don't believe this. Well, first shot, that would be a first, but we'll see. So when I explained what it should do, you see it all right? You probably do, right? So this is Productboard. If you've never seen it, I think I'm probably forbidden to say this, like, Jira but better, or yeah, something like that. So this is a backlog of features where you as a product manager can decide, I want to launch this feature. We build it, and as I said, like, I actually want to generate some marketing copy for this. So I have this. Let's try something simple for now. Bulk user invite via CSV, for example, feature that I built. It's in progress. It's no longer in progress. It's in marketing stage. So I'm gonna flip it to marketing, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, we received the webhook. We received maybe. Is not super important, but yeah, we launched the Omnim and we errored out in Productboard. Cool, and this is probably because of the HTML validation. So a real demo now. This must have happened. I would actually be super delighted if this worked just for a one shot. So what you would normally do, you would debug it with Cursor. You just copy this and say, hey, something broke, mate. With maybe fix this, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll fix it. Maybe we will not. The problem with Productboard usually is it's a red flag. Okay, something super wrong. So you're right. Yeah, I do like how it's actually complimenting me, even though I build it and it doesn't work. But it says I did a great job, which usually makes my day so much brighter. Yes, so there are different API params that we need to use. So I'll try to fix this. So we have 5 minutes to fix this. I will do my best to hold the fingers for the AI to make the changes so that it works. And we will see. So we haven't even gotten to the HTML problems, so we'll see. But yeah, this should be resolved. This is wonderful. So let's try to restart it. And let's do this again. And we'll change this to marketing. We received the data. We're pinging Omnim. Omnim should generate the assets for us. And we got the rich text field error. So that's the error that I was talking about. That's the error that I was hoping to get. So let's make this a quick turnaround back to cursor. We have text field error here. And this is absolutely normal, right? Like you probably should not expect this to work as a one-shotted example. I do this quite a lot. This back and forth between the console, the errors, the cursor. What has worked super well for me is to ask cursor to add verbose logging for the new part of functionality that I just need to test. Because even if something works, if you add log that says something was successful, here is the data from the successful call, it will then skip a hypothesis that it doesn't have to check, right? Because it says, yeah, I can actually see that the data is there, so I can go to something else. So even successful logs are super valuable. Yeah, so the question from a stranger in the audience.
For this type of debugging, would you consider using different model than the 2 Pro Max? Or because these seem like a smaller tasks, maybe Claude could be able to do it a little bit better?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would normally even go one level up. I would try to consult O3 from OpenAI to fix this. I generally don't like to kill the thread with the conversation if I don't have to, unless we're running out of context, because the context helps. So for this example, I would just stick with Gemini, and but yeah, in normal case scenario, whatever works. So if you want to change the model, sometimes it really is a good idea. So let's do it one more time. Siri, go away. No, you're stupid. You're not AI. Cool. And we have a liftoff. Maybe I have to refresh product board. Cool. And we have marketing ready and marketing content in app. That's it. Woo. So yeah, you're clapping to our silicon overlords in the future. I just did. Please fix basically. So that's it. So this, as a product manager, you would be implementing this. You probably wouldn't, to be honest. So your team would be implementing it for quite a long time. This is a good enough prototype. It kind of works. I have no idea how this was implemented. I hope it's in TypeScript. I have no clue. Well, I saw that the files are TS, so it's probably TypeScript. But other than that, I don't know. What's in there, if it like leaks my company secrets, it probably doesn't. But those kind of things that you have to think about, you still have to treat it as a junior intern that's really excited about the work. They want to get the job done. But if they decide to sort of rewrite React in the middle of the implementation, that sometimes happens. So just be on the lookout for this. Thank you. It was great. Thank you.